Alright. What it is, Daniacs. We are here with Roderick Martin. He's over there at Why the Big Secret, also known as the Symbolizer. And he likes to roll with truth versus authority. So I've been rolling with Roderick for at least a good about 8 months or so. I've first heard about him. I saw him on Billy Carson's channel, and I've been rolling with Billy Carson for at least 2 years. I was checking out his live last night, and he was like, "Anyone want to get up on here and talk?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, it's exactly what I want to do." If anything, just to introduce myself, and say what up. But of course, I participated in the conversation. So, and this whole thing is all about uh, uh, perception manipulation slash mind control through music. Okay. And of course, it's not just music, it's the entire entertainment industry. So we're going to roll with it. We're going to roll with it.
I just said, well, let me still come on here, make a quick whatever. I don't get into a lot of the rap stuff and stuff because it's not my prominent conversation. I don't think it's conspiratorial enough. It's just sitting there in plain sight. But I thought it would be a good overview for us to kind of talk about a little bit.
Even though it's in plain sight, that doesn't mean everyone sees it, though. So there probably was a handful of people watching that really didn't consider that the manipulation going on in the music that they listen to. And at this point, I was hanging out in the chat, okay, and he's all like, "I'm gonna bounce if no one shows up," and I'm like, "Nah, hold my place, homie. I'll be right there."
To do that, but anyway, we're 7 days the countdown to my 55th birthday, and again tonight we have one contributor, and Shannon contributed to it tonight.
Happy birthday, homie.
And so we just have to thank Shannon for that as well, and getting closer and closer and closer to do that. And let me see. All right, so we have no studio folks tonight, but it's cool. And so what I'm going to do, unless y'all don't have any questions, we're going to get out. I'm going to leave and get out of here tonight.
Yeah, I heard that, and I was like, "Oh hell no! I'm about to hop up on this bitch. I'm gonna keep you rolling for a little bit, Roderick."
If y'all have some questions, or we're going to continue to go on. I have a little small headache, but I'm open, pretty much. But now tonight it's going to be some audience engagement, pretty much from there. So I'll give a countdown. So other than that, so if y'all are good, I'm good, and I think that however you had your weekend. So tomorrow, we'll be doing Forbidden Knowledge, and then of course we'll be back here Wednesday. Thursday, we will be doing some things in our now Thursday we want, because I have my one of my daughters is taking me somewhere Thursday, and the other one's doing it in a couple of days. So I'll be going somewhere Thursday for my birthday, and pretty much. So we'll be heading to that. Looks like we have someone down here in our studio. I don't know what they're. Let's see.
Stop dealing with the high costs of clogged gutters.
This is exactly why we chose leaf filters 5 years ago.
Fuck off.
You're the guy with the gun, the person who would do anything to protect the ones you love.
Someone down here in our studio. I don't know what they're. Let's see. All right, so you have a camera on that, Queen, or you gonna keep it off? What's going on?
Oh, I'm gonna keep it off. Do I have to get on?
You on? Go ahead.
I'm not made up for makeup, so I didn't know I was coming up here. I just wanted to read something to you.
Listen, natural beauty is natural beauty, right? Listen, I'm agreeing with you, because if it ain't there, it ain't there. You know what I'm saying?
It is that day where I don't look like that, so I'm not going to come on camera, but I appreciate the offer. But I wanted to, and thank you for pulling me up here. I wanted to read this to you because this is something I have studied ad nauseum. I have some background in it. I joined a group, but I won't say what group I joined. I joined something a long time ago because I wanted to find out more. I was an avid studier of a lot of things here. You doing this because I never had the courage to get on here and do this. So this is deep. But okay, so there is a section 501, and I really want to pull this up on my computer. I'm going to try to stretch this out so I can see it on my phone. But section 501, small letter A, the Secretary and the Broadcasting Board of Governors are authorized to use funds appropriated or otherwise made available for public diplomacy information programs to provide for the preparation.
She said, I ain't gotten my makeup on, so my camera's staying off.
And dissemination and use of information intended for foreign audiences abroad about the United States, its people, and its policies through press, publications, radio, motion pictures, the internet, and other information media, including social media, and through information centers, instructions, and other direct or indirect means of communication. So essentially, this is the state board of governors giving authorization to use the media to message as needed. So there are, if you ever look at government funding, there are Hollywood contracts that the United States has with the government. And if you notice, when Obama was president,
and I'm just chilling right here. You know, you just see my stupid face there, but you know, this girl got some things to say, dude. Seriously, and I hope she gets going with Roderick a little bit, because he's totally offering for her to join his team later on in this thing, and he takes my information down too, but he sounded much more interested in Cairo Queen over there, which I don't blame him. She had some interesting things to say.
How many Hollywood people were behind him constantly? And then look at Kamala. How many musicians and entertainers were behind her? They actually have government funding for this. Just like Boeing has the most contracts ever with the United States, Hollywood and individual components of Hollywood also get that funding. That's all I wanted to say.
Wow. So are we saying that?
Don't let her lie to you, y'all. That ain't all she wanted to say. That was just the opener. That ain't nearly all she wanted to say. Man, she brings up some very good points.
Let me back up for a minute. So when we saw, I don't do a lot of politics, but when we saw this last election, these people wasn't really there to promote, but they was there to get the paycheck that was already written in.
Isn't that's what Trump was trying to explain to people? Like, you couldn't even pay the people the $10 million wasn't it 10 million or was it 10,000? $10 million offered to Beyonce, if I'm not mistaken. And they were trying to figure out where Kamala was going to get the money from, because she didn't have the money to pay these people. So you had entertainers up there twerking for political votes, right? Engage our people specifically, because our people, according to the Democrat Party, weren't intelligent enough to vote without somebody shaking their. So, and I say that intentionally, because that should have been offensive to all of us. But in the context of where they use entertainment, if you ever pay,
there's a lot of ways that the government treats black people that should actually be offensive as fuck to black people, such as over in California, you don't need to show an ID, because black people can't get one, or some stupid shit. It's they do shit like that all the fucking time, and if you stop and think about it, you're like, hey, that's actually a degrading fucking perception. Saying that we're just too fucking illiterate or something, that's actually quite fucking degrading. The way that the government treats our black brothers. I'm half black, I'm half brown, I'm half red, I'm half white. You call me Chief Dark Brownie Cracker, motherfuckers. What's up?
Attention to all of everything. a lot of entertainment is shifting to grab the attention of certain people. And that's because the entertainment, well, not only that, they're using it as a hypnosis. Like if you go back to why the Olympics was ever created, you go all the way back to Julius Caesar and Julius Caesar creating, or let's say the Romans creating the
It's a distraction. It's a distraction. Look over here at the left hand so you don't see what the right hand is doing.
Oh gosh, I can't think what it's called, the Pantheon. And why they were battling in the Pantheon was because they had to keep the people distracted while the Senate did what they wanted to do. And that engaged people to keep them distracted. I always tell people it's a pattern. If you ever watch during the course of turmoil is happening in the middle of the summer, because there's always, when they utilize Mercury rising to impact people and to raise people's temperatures, they always have something that gets people mad during the summer. And it's going to be televised, it's going to be a lot of drama. What kills it is the unifying force of football. Every time, even when they had to bend the knee, everybody said, we're going to boycott football. Did they boycott it? No. The NAACP showed up at the football game. Because football is a unifying fact.
To go in, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. And they all came together under the unification of football. And there are people who look like us who are playing us too. So it's not just the other people. It's a lot of people playing a game because we're chess pieces on a...
It's not just the other people. I'll translate that for y'all. It ain't just the fucking crackers. No, of course, and I think we're gonna be getting into that, and like that's the whole point. The whole controlling your perception through rap, that they are using the black people in order to manipulate the other black people, and they're doing that through the rap, and that's the same thing with every genre. For every genre of music, you have a demographic that likes that music, and that's the entire entertainment industry is a perception manipulation industry, is what it is. It should more accurately be referred to.
Board. And we don't know the position we play because we don't even know there's a game. And a lot of this entertainment, yes. Like I asked everybody.
Hey, I told y'all, man, this girl is on it. I really hope she starts doing some things with Roderick, or something. She gets into it. She said she used to have a podcast and we trying to reel her back in. We reel her back in because you have to speak up, man. That is what they are hoping for, is that people don't speak up and speak out. And the more that do, the easier it is for others to speak up and speak out and support them, falling in behind them, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm speaking up and out for freedom for everyone in the world.
So what's the probability that they brought out everything you could possibly think of last year? And why did they do it last year? You had pyramids coming out last year.
Okay, I was being quiet during this because as soon as she said why, why were all these things coming out last year? For one, that's an election year, okay? And for two, anytime you have these big old stories getting blasted out, the Diddy stuff, for half last year or whatever, anytime you have shit like that, that is a smoke screen. That is a drama smoke screen to hide what's going on behind the scenes, all right? So that's something to look out for and be aware for. Every time you hear these big ridiculous stories coming out, it's like, what's really going on? Like they're telling us that only so that they don't have to tell us something else. So start looking around and looking behind the scenes whenever big shit like this is coming out.
Had the Diddy situation coming out last year. You finally heard, and I say finally heard, about Beyonce and Jay-Z last year. You finally heard about all this stuff that has been out there rumored, but it actually came to the public eye and the viewpoint last year. Why did they wait till last year to do that? And then there was an election. Where did Jaguar Wright come from last year? You know what I mean? Like, Jaguar White had disappeared. She was just like a backup singer for a lot of people. So she came Cat Williams came out of nowhere with this stuff, and he was a comedian, but then all of a sudden, like, he was being utilized. But if you, Kanye West has a song called Power. In the lyrics of Power, he said, "We're the ones they chose." And I always wonder, like, what did he mean by that? But if you watch the video, everything in that video is symbology of Illuminati. If you go back and watch Who Runs the Town with Rihanna, Kanye, and who is it, Jay-Z? We Run the Town.
Right.
That's an Illuminati video. If you go back and watch every single Beyonce, I could break this down frame by frame. Every Beyonce video is an Illuminati video.
See, Cairo, that right there, that's at least a 30 minute to an hour long video you could be doing. This girl needs to be making some content, dude.
Her stage performances, all Jay-Z stage performances. Why are these the people that are being utilized for the government? How'd they become? Man, don't get me started. I'm not gonna take this over. I'm gonna be.
No, get started. Get started. That's what I'm saying. Get started.
Be quiet.
Just hold on a minute. So let's get with Dark Light here. What's going on, my brother?
Hey, man, how's it going? I've been watching you for a little bit now. I saw you on Billy Carson at first, and
okay, right.
I definitely can hop in on this conversation. I just wanted to give you a shout-out, bro. I'm a non-Abrahamic, true monotheist. I believe followers of Abraham are blood cult of sin worshippers. I do believe in the construct of the actual one true creator. Okay. And my channel is all about exploring theology and perception.
And real quick, y'all, because I know, I fucking hear you Christians. I hear it. He keeps throwing up the devil horns. Oh. Okay, let me ask you. What fucking fingers does God own? In y'all's perception, which fingers, okay? Because the actual one true creator owns all fingers. He owns all of them. He owns all numbers. So, I will unequivocally say that Satanists are just as weak as the rest of the followers of Abraham, because they still base their entire perception off the broken theology of Abraham. Same with Gnostics. So I see Jews, Christians, Muslims, Satanists, and Gnostics. They are all under the umbrella of the broken theology of Abraham. So do not. Okay, a symbol means something to everyone, and it doesn't mean the same thing to everyone. So just because a symbol means something to you, don't assume that it means the same thing to me. And that being said, rock on, motherfuckers! These are rock on fingers, bro. I'm from Florida. It's like, I'm into metal. I'm a fucking metalhead, bro. What's up? These are metal fingers. It's rock on fingers. It's what's the fuck up fingers, you know? But if you want to take it as devil fingers, that's on you, homie. Whoever's watching that might be thinking that. So that's just a little side quest. Here we go.
I want to go around interviewing people of every different theory, but I just don't have the equipment yet, so I've just been reacting and shit, you know.
And
I got over 300 videos.
It's on YouTube?
I'm sorry?
YouTube?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's the name of it again?
It's at Dark Light Ascending. The dark dash light of what's that? The lower dash. What do they call that?
Oh, underscore
ASCENDIN.
All right, I'm going to get a.
Bro, don't know what an underscore is.
And I want you to write down my email, or you get the 800 number either way. But I'll take a look at your YouTube channel.
Hey, I did send you a text, Roderick.
I've been to a bunch of YouTube conferences, and so I'll look at your channel, give you some pointers and some stuff too.
Yeah,
pretty much from there. All right, so you got a pen? You get it, or you already got my email? You got my email address? Yeah, or you got my email address.
No, I don't. But I don't have a pen right around anywhere right now. Okay. I got my dog on me too.
Hey, I'm gonna whisper to the dog. I'm gonna give it to him. All right, so you want to throw in on this conversation, or you just kind of?
Yes, sir, absolutely. I think it's all about perception manipulation. Okay,
I always got some things to say. I got some things to say, man.
Consciousness is the jewel of the cosmos. Okay, and essentially we are all gods. And how do you exert control over a sea of gods? And you have to convince them to relinquish their divine sovereignty through their consciousness. And that is all done through perception manipulation, which, to circle back around to the subject, music, that's a big part of how they control people's perception.
Fuck off. I'm sorry, y'all. Secondhand commercials.
Big part of how they control perception.
All right, Cairo, what do you think about what he just said? I'm gonna let y'all too. You know.
100% facts. You said the people who talk about the mind, watch out for them. But when I tell you everything is about the hijacking of your mind, if you go in, even in the Bible, you have to protect your gates, right? You're protecting.
Absolutely.
Your ears, you got to protect your eyes, you have to protect your energy, you have to protect what you divested. And what you don't understand a lot of times in society is that volunteerism is your vote. And so everything that you consciously and unconsciously are doing, you're rendering your energy to a vote. And that's what's driving a market. So you talk about a consumer, right? You're a consumer and unconsciously making decisions on behalf of the entire country, the world, the city, the state, and your town, because you're taking action, even if it's subconscious, whether you participate or don't participate. That's what's moving a needle forward or backward. All of your thoughts are creating things. I don't care what you don't believe in. If you talk about it, it exists in some capacity. Whatever you render your energy to, it acts.
That's because we are co-creators. We are a quanta fractal of the one true creator. We all create our own worlds through our perception. That is why our perception is constantly under attack. Essentially, it is constantly coveted by the elites.
Actually starts to create itself and come back to you, right? So you're going to see it somewhere. And so if you're sitting here constantly divesting your energy in something that is dark and Luciferian or dark and occult or dark.
Whoa. With all the anti-dark talk over there. And I think that part of my role, that is why my name is the Dark Light. Dark isn't inherently bad, and light isn't inherently good. Both are required for a creation, essentially. I have a totally different perception on darkness. Darkness loves the light. Darkness created the light. Light came from the darkness. Light begins and ends in the darkness, okay? Just as something begins and ends in the nothingness. And I get into this with atheists. They're like, there's no such thing as pure nothingness, right? Well, I'd never said pure nothingness, but there is nothing. Everything is full of nothing. Just ask the atom. Atoms are mostly empty space. Now, I do have a theory that everything actually exists in the same time and place simultaneously. This is the fractal singularity omnimatrix. Okay, that is the one true creator from which all creation flows.
And negative, darkness is going to manifest because that's where you put your energy. So that's what they've done over the last couple generations, is they pushed people towards. And I mentioned the Pied Piper theory. If y'all remember, that's what R. Kelly called himself, the Pied Piper, right? So the Pied Piper theory is that someone can walk through a town playing the flute.
I didn't know R. Kelly called himself that. I wanna piss on you, pee on you.
And all the rats will follow them to drown the rats. And so if you think about that and consciously pay attention to what's happening to you all the time, who's targeting who? Where's the masses going? Why are they doing that? And at the time frame that they do it, why are they doing it? There are reasons for all of this stuff. And they're always playing with our minds because we walk around unconscious.
Woo! Girls, cook it. Cook it, Cairo.
Totally asleep.
I agree with you 100% because when I first started this journey of truth versus authority, when I first started messaging, it was all about authority as us listening to people of authority. And as I started going deeper, I was like, no. Authority is
There are meta levels of everything. Okay, that's the inevitability of our fractal reality. So there are meta levels to authority. There are meta levels to government. Okay, all those things, and both of those things right there, authority and government, are only relevant to self, your self authority, your self government. But this is where you have some co-creators trying to manipulate the perception of the sea of gods, the rest of the co-creators, into relinquishing their divine sovereignty one way or another. Okay, and they do this by what is it? Just let Cairo talk, man. Fuck. This is why I need other people.
mine. And I know
There's levels to authority.
Yeah, and they're not going to understand the complex of it because we think we believe what we see, right? And I'm like, no, these people are very good at what they're doing. They can control through the mind, and so yeah, they're going to use their pawns, politicians, different things, visuals. But this dates all the way back, and I'm shocked sometimes because there's a lot of people like,
know what he is doing? Now that he is in office again, the Gov has quietly been doing a second round of subsidy.
Doing some things. He'll be doing some things.
But this dates all the way back in time because there's a lot of people like, oh, they don't program me. I'm like, we all done got hit somewhere growing up before we, right? Yeah, it's sitting out there, you know.
Yeah, we inherit a world full of ideas right off the bat, you know.
And so I just think it's something that people need to really understand and basically look. Now, you said a couple of times, Cairo, or let's go back with you, Dark Knight. Do you want to?
I had something to throw in when she was talking about voting. Now, they want to make us think that only once every two to 4 years that we get to vote, but that's not true. We vote every single second of our lives with every decision that we make. And this is where they
bars. So bars, bitches.
that they control our basic programming. That way they can, because if you control someone's beliefs, you can control their thoughts. If you control their thoughts, you can control their actions. Okay, so essentially by controlling someone's belief, you can and greatly influence to control their actions.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where voting has the most power. Like just like Billy Carson said, I'm my own fucking president. Ain't no one else my president. I am the president of my own world.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much. Cairo, I want to extend. I've always been looking for people who are going to be contributing to our shows, you know, and then pretty much what else do you do? Because if you don't have your own podcast, you need a place to get all that stuff out.
Yep.
Yeah. And
I appreciate that. I used to have a podcast. I've had several of them. It's just I was just like 10 years ago, and so my background was in talking about technology, and somehow or another it always gets entangled back to this conversation because at the end of the day, we're on a quest for truth. It's always going to bring you right back here.
Absolutely.
Because the question is going to be like, why is this happening? Why is this happening?
That is because truth is relative. I'm laughing because I have this conversation with atheists a lot. And they will say, no, truth is not relative. That there is absolute truth. But okay, when I say truth is relative to what? It is relative to the perception of the holder of that truth. It is relative to the perception of the mind in which that truth is taking place. So truth, the concept of truth, is completely meaningless aside from a mind that attributes that truth. So therefore, all truth is relative. And people will say that there is absolute truth gravity works. It works for me. It works for you. It works regardless if anyone's around watching it. Okay, but the very construct of truth is meaningless without the perception of an observer. Okay, so that is why everything ultimately circles back around to truth and perception.
And nobody's paying attention, or better yet, no one's doing anything about it. Nobody's protesting it. Everybody's going along with it. Why are they all going along with it? Do they not see? And how come they can't see it? Well, you keep asking these questions over and over again.
No, keep going. Yeah.
Well, check it out. Anytime that there's a real protest, that protest gets hijacked and co-opted, okay? And then it gets twisted. You see what I'm saying? Like any.
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, my other me. Fuck, no, I forgot what I was gonna say. Fuck!
Time there's a real protest that they bring out the CIA and then
the protest gets repurposed, is what I was gonna say. It gets co-opted. The protest gets co-opted and repurposed by the elites, let's say.
And then they hijack and co-opt that protest.
100,000%.
Are you an American who's making $50,000 or less a year with no Medicare or Medicaid? Good. That means you are already approved.
Fuck off with the commercials. Fuck, I swear to fucking God, you motherfuckers play more commercials.
100,000%.
Look out for that. You know, once you notice that and you start looking for it, you'll start to see, hey, this protest started off as this, but all of a sudden it got morphed into that, and our freedoms get lost in the process.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, I actually did I don't know if I did a podcast or like a post about this, but I mentioned this a few years ago because I watch these patterns. I have a tendency to pay attention to patterns now, but the patterns, every time that specifically our people, if we start any kind of, or the people are doing something for the people, right?
Hey, I'm your people too. All of y'all are my people. Everybody's my people.
Every time there has been anything race related that we actually stand up against, and I caution everyone to go look at this. 2 weeks later, and it's approximately 2 weeks, it gets hijacked by something completely different. I was at a march in Atlanta for Troy Davis. I was walking down the street with several different leaders of our community, and I'll say one who is no longer with us specifically. But I was walking down the street, and we were in the park. Martin Luther King's children were there, some AU Center people, the Black colleges. The bands came through, marching through. I didn't even know who Troy Davis was at this point, just so you understand. I just saw a protest in the park. I was leaving, picking up some flyers, and I was driving downtown, and I saw this protest happening with blue shirts on. I saw a brother's face on it. So I jumped out the car to go see what they were doing. And I walked in protester.
Fuck,
but man, I got out there. And people in the park, but it was mostly people who didn't look like me in the park protesting. Strange, because they all had on these blue shirts with Troy Davis's face. So I went out there and got informed on what was happening with Troy Davis. And it blew my mind that so many people who didn't look like me were out there protesting, and I had no idea who this was, right? So I looked again, and I saw Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory was my idol for the longest time. I thought he was just so amazing. And I got to him, and I asked him, I said, well, Mr. Gregory, I podcast. And I said, Mr. Gregory, can I interview you? I said, I love you. I was like, please. And he said, only if you come march with me.
God fucking damn it.
So I started marching down Baker Street with this man.
Trying to pause, motherfuckers.
To the church, Ebenezer Church is down the street. So
fuck. Apologize for the technical difficulties, y'all. This shit is so fucking annoying. Been dealing with this fucking shit for you, man. Fucking every time I go to react to something, every 3 fucking minutes it's cutting out on me. So fucking annoying. But yeah, I keep fucking doing it. And people are like, oh, you don't have fucking Your shit's not all perfect. Yeah, no fucking shit. I wish it was, man. I keep trying to edit this shit and it keeps fucking it up and erasing it, man. It's so fucking annoying. So I have to leave this fucking bullshit in here. Fuck. All right. We're good.
Marching down the street, and I looked up and I saw these three sisters that were college students in stiletto heels going down. This is a slope, so you understand. They're going down this hill with stiletto heels on and booty shorts. And it hit me, and I said, wait a minute.
Booty everywhere.
He said, girl, we've been protesting for over 60 years. And I looked at him, I was like,
what the actual fuck, dude?
And I got this gut feeling. My stomach turned, and I got sick. And I was like, I gotta stop. I gotta stop right now. And I looked at him, and he said, where are you going? I said, I'm going back to my car.
Motherfucker, come the fuck on.
2 weeks later, I drive down the street in the 90 minutes, and all the homeless, this is a homeless park, right? Where you got lots of people homeless in this park. So and it was Woodland. I'm in Texas now, but I was looking, I said, wait a minute. I was like, just 2 weeks ago, they were doing Troy Davis. And now it's the 99%. And that's when I really started paying attention to it, because I was like, it's something all the time. It's in magic, they have a thing called a sleight of hand trick. Left hand know what your right hand's doing. And this is the trick where, like, if you're paying attention to one thing, you're not looking at the other thing. And that's why they only give you clips and bits in the news, because you're not going to remember. And they bombard you with information all over the place because you won't remember. And then when you don't remember, the other stuff becomes irrelevant. So now it's like the 99%.
Fucking cocksucker, man. I swear to fucking God.
Here in Dallas. Y'all remember?
All right, I guess I'm done right here, dude, because this shit keeps fucking with me, man. Sorry to end the video like this, y'all, but this is the fucking bullshit I'm dealing with, man. But I keep making fucking videos. Yeah, it's dedication of some sort. Fuck, man.